Do you sometimes feel like progress and improvement in English is just not possible for you? This was the case for many, many of my students. And today you are going to hear directly from them their story of transformation. They are going to tell you about how English used to be an obstacle for them and how it is no longer an obstacle. And they are able to communicate with confidence, with clarity, and with freedom. They'll tell you about all the things that helped them get to where they are today. And I wanted to share their stories with you because I believe that when you listen to stories of people who are just like you about how they struggled with English and how it is no longer a struggle, it's a reminder that it is possible for you too. And this is why I wanted to share their stories with you. So let's go ahead and listen to the stories of Lisandro, Alex, Orsi, Anne, and Alain. Let's listen. So I'm happy you're here. And here's what we're going to do. First, we're going to do a round of introductions. So each of you, Alain and Alex and Lisandro and Orsi and Anne, hopefully she'll be able to join. You will just give a quick introduction where you are, where you live now, where you're from originally, if it's not the same place. Hi, Anne.
Hi.
You did it. Hi.
Yeah.
How are you doing? And then we're going to talk about your transformation stories and your experience inside of New Sound and how it has helped you reach this transformation. And for those of you who are going to be an active part of the next round of New Sound, I think all of you, then you can share a bit more about what's coming up for you. Okay, so Orsi, you can go ahead and introduce yourself.
Thank you, Hadar. First of all, thank you so much for having me here. I'm Orsi from Hungary. I've been involved in Hadar communities for 5 years now, I think. And I have really gone through quite a lot of different transformations. Thanks for everything that we have.
A lot of stages, together. Right? Like so many things have happened. Like can count it by the years almost. Yeah.
Exactly.
And I got lucky and I got to hug Orsi 3 times, 3 different times in 3 different places.
Exactly.
Once in Budapest when I visited, and once in New York City in our meetup in 2022, and once in Barcelona in our recent meetup in 2024. And it's been
yes, exactly.
Amazing. Tell us what you do now.
Now let's say I'm in a very nice stage in my next project, and I became a language teacher, imagine. And I found a new hobby for myself, let's put it this way, and I couldn't mix the 2 things together. So now I have a new dream, which is about to come true, that I'm gonna teach culinary English for food passionate. So people that love food preparation, even professional cooks, chefs, all these things. That's the next step.
Guys, I'm going to ask Orsi another question about this. How did you come up with this idea? Like, tell us about what brought you to do this and kind of like tap into this passion of yours, of every, like all the different passions of yours into, like, you were able to put it in one, kind of like in this one project.
Yes, I think everything started 2 years ago when I started to have a special diet, but it helped me focus on food much more than before. And I enrolled in a high school program in Hungary, and I got a certified cook. I don't want to use the word chef, but I'm a certified cook, and now I'm involved in a pastry chef course, and I'm about to graduate now, And the thing is that I don't really care of my age, but I'm not really a teenager, and I'm not at the beginning of my career, and I really wanted to find a way how to cook, because I wasn't happy just cook at home for my family. Because I started to make pictures. I have an Instagram profile where I share everything I create, and they are amazing. Sorry for my saying, but that's the truth. I truly enjoy them. And I wanted to cook somehow. And it was so clear to involve this activity, this new passion in my normal job, which is teaching. So I decided to pick this topic because I know that it's a struggle for a lot of people, even for professionals. And I think that even here in the boot camp, we have met some people in the conversation groups that said that it was struggling to speak about local specialties, local food. So they really need culinary English.
Wow.
So that
Brilliant.
was the thing that helped me find this way.
And even teaching is something that is rather new, because before, when we met, you weren't a teacher.
Yeah. 5 years ago, when I finished New Sound, that was my very first transformation. Because before New Sound, I used to work just in Italian as a tour guide in Budapest. And right after New Sound, I changed the language because I was curious to understand if people could get me in English. So the day after, I stood up with my usual umbrella in the corner close to the Parliament building in Budapest, and I led my first tourists through the city, and they were happy. And the thing is that English wasn't an issue. It was just a normal way of communication. So I was so happy with it that I've been leading tours in Budapest for 5 years now, 100% in English.
Wow.
So that's my old me, and now I'm in a transition from this to teaching culinary English.
But it's amazing, and I love it that, like, I was like, just introduce yourself, and now we're just going into the transformation story one by one. But it is what it is. I can't handle myself. No, but it's like, I love these stories because it shows you how when you open yourself up to one thing, and on the surface, back in 2021, not 2020, or 4 years, not 5. Let me, yeah.
Okay.
No, but even short period of amount of time where like this massive transformation happened, right? And I vividly, like, Orsi was the first in the first round of New Sound when we just opened it. Lucky me. I'm just thinking, like, back then you just wanted to feel a bit more confident in English, but you did that, and then that opened up like this new opportunity to start guiding in English, and then you started building confidence in English, and then you realized the impact that it had, and you started teaching because you knew that you had more to give to others and a way to facilitate the language that only you get. And then all of a sudden, that with another passion, which was cooking, and even that, like, just daring and exploring. This is something that you've been on a journey on for since I know you, probably before as well, but still, like, it felt, and now I'm gonna, and you've been in relationship with languages for many years, whether it's Italian and now English. So I love it how things come together and you kind of like tap into your purpose when you open yourself up to new things, when you're willing to explore, when you're willing to step out of your comfort zone, which you did time and time again. So this is why I love your story so much.
Yes, absolutely. And just to tell you, Hadar, the thing is that without knowing English and without speaking English confidently, all these things wouldn't have been possible for me. Because just imagine that you want to learn something, but all the knowledge is in English out there. So how can you get there without the language? So it's actually, without English, it wouldn't have been so easy to make all these transformations.
Right. Right. It just allows you to reach to more areas and more places and minimize the distance between where you are and what you want to get. Like, that's what I feel. Like, English is definitely, I always say, it's always the means to live the life that you want. It's not about the language. It's not about just fluency. Yeah, we want fluency. Yeah, we use pronunciation to get fluency. Yeah. But why do we want fluency? Because we want to explore life, have access to all the opportunities, and make deep connections. And then we were like, oh, we took advantage of life. Anyway, so Orsi, thank you so much. And I'm so glad that you're here to share your story. And Lisandro, you're next. Tell us, hi, how are you?
Hi, Master Hadar. Hello, everyone. Hello, new sounders, beyonders. My name is Lisando de Paula. I'm from Brazil. I have been in US for many years. I'm not gonna tell how long is that because it's shame on me. But thank God I found Hadar and you guys too, almost
Right.
3 years ago. And I was lost. Should I go? Where should I go? Where should I start? I didn't know how. But she is the master of English. I say that all the time. And guys, we have the whole map here. If you don't do this because you want just to lean in your sofa and do anything else, but we have the map, and the map is her, have everything like GPS. So now we have AI, we have Hadar, we have the whole team, and these people over here, those community make you better every day. It's not about English, it's about anything. I didn't know how to go to Zoom 3 years ago, and today I'm doing so many things
You're
in
hosting sessions on Zoom.
exactly,
Yeah.
and I do videos, and I can help other ones. So it's not just for you; it's for all of us. I'm so in love to be here, and thank you, all of you, to put your hands in there, because when you put hands in there, things change, and that's our community, guys. That's the place that I want to stay there. And thanks God, I'm getting old, and I found this community, and I want to go there and stay there and learn as much as possible.
So, Lisandro, why do you think community is important when you do this type of work?
Because I didn't know how to have a perfect English, because the perfectionism is not from here, but we try to get a better days every day. And that you had developed
There we
amazing,
go.
amazing program, and that we cannot get lost. We have everything very well done, and we have anything, even music. If you don't know how to sing, but she doesn't teach us that, but she guiding us to go through all things. Because 10 years ago, I had such a, that was a sad thing that happened. I am a nurse in here in US. I graduated this, and the last time that when I was doing the verbal test, the lady said, "I don't understand you," and I was like, "What?" And I was so in shock. I was like, "Wow!" And that's affect me all the time when I remember this. That's affect me, but I didn't know about the mindset. But I had a strong mindset, and then I said English was poor, and then I said to her, I know it's English is my problem, but I want to get better, and I don't know if you're gonna help me out in this. But come, cut the conversation short. I was so brave to telling her to not doing this with me, because I was just new English in the learning English. That was a thing that I would like to helping people as a nurse, but she blocked my vision to be a nurse. So then I was like looking for an English place. I found you, and then opened my mind, and then I changed my vocabulary and my pronunciation, and then I was like, oh my God, now the mindsets make me better, and the pronunciation as well. It's everything very symmetric. You have to follow the protocol. If you follow the guidance from you and from the whole thing, you get a better and stronger day for sure.
Wow, that's amazing. And I think what you said is really important, and a lot of people can relate. Like this idea that as a non-native speaker, especially as an adult non-native speaker, and that you've experienced, especially as an immigrant, a lot of people carry some kind of trauma or mini trauma that is connected to the language. Now, it doesn't have to be something that is, like that is, it's not something that we think about as a trauma, but an experience that made you shut down, and that has since then created anxiety or fear around speaking, or the feeling like it's not possible for you. That was, you pushed yourself, you moved to a new country, you took all the tests needed, and all of a sudden, like that one instance shut you down, and then you're like, I'm not gonna, like, I don't know if I can do this. It could be like a fourth grader standing in class and having their teacher laugh at them, that could be a traumatic experience, and we carry it, and then we don't know what to do with it, and we think that it's just us not being able to use English. And it takes a lot of healing in a way, in the context of having a really safe environment to allow you to open up and explore, and also having the coaching and the guidance and the mindset, because it's interconnected to any language learning. And also like something that will force you in a way to be verbally active, which is the pronunciation work. And I think this is why this works for a lot of people who come with some kind of a negative experience in the past or some kind of an anxiety, because this is the one thing that can change that, because you have to have all those three things. Otherwise, it's just the textbooks, you know, and we think about learning a language and we think it's the textbooks, and it's not. And it's not. And unless we see ourselves as a whole person with emotions and experiences and fears, and then we wouldn't really address the problem. We would just address the symptoms, but then transformation cannot happen like it did for you guys, right?
Exactly, especially because we are busy all the time. We working, we studying, we have kids, we have husband, wife. We have so many things in our place at the same time, and sometimes it's difficult to tackle things. But like I told you guys, it's a propaganda or advertisement, but it is. This program, it's in 9 days, completely well done. 90, thank you. And I was very looking for this. For many years here in US, I never found something like that. I'm gonna tell you, I have been here for 25 years. Nothing comparison to Hadar. Guys, jumping in, this is the moment. And if you don't do this now, so we have a next time a chance for maybe September or maybe next year. But now it's this way. And
Lisandro. Lisandro had to teach me that I shouldn't say Lisandro, but Lisandro. Took me like 2 meetups to finally get it right. I don't know why. Okay, Anne, you are going to go next, please. Hi, welcome. Good to see you here.
Good to see you too. So my name is Han. I'm from France, where I live. I came across you, Hadar, last year as I was listening to a podcast from an American girl. She was interviewing you, and I said, oh my gosh, she's a non-native speaker. So if she did it, maybe I can do it too. And I have started to binge watch your videos on YouTube until the opening of New Sound. And I jumped into New Sound the very first day. And I have never regretted it, because it's amazing. As Lisando said, it's just amazing. You said that we have a prepared schedule, and that's right. That we have a lot of help, and that's right. And we have the community. You know how I call it, of course, my cotton box, because it's it's a safe place where you can just talk with others. You can share your thoughts. No matter you make mistakes or not, that's not a problem. And then when you go out of the community, you feel stronger, you feel better. You don't think about the judgment of people. And that's what was very important for me, because this program is also a transformational program. It's about mindset. It's about connection with people. And I was not even able to record myself when I started New Sound last year. It was very, very difficult for me.
Why was it difficult for you to record yourself when you first started?
I'm a kind of perfectionist, so it was never good enough. So at the beginning, I was recording and recording and recording over and over and over again.
Wait, I want to
And
ask
one day,
the people watching, if the people watching, we have like almost 400 people watching this right now. You know, I know it's not a one thing, it's not an and thing. That's something that most of our students experience, but I wanted to know if
yeah,
you experienced that for New Sound. So, okay, so you had the fear, you recorded a bunch of times, you didn't post. Okay, and then what
I don't
happened?
know.
A lot of
I don't
yeses.
know how many videos I have recorded before uploading them. But one day I said, stop. Now you record and you upload just right away. And I really felt good, just good.
Good.
And I remember when we had to make the power speech, I said, oh my gosh, what am I doing? That's not possible. And I did it, and I was proud of me. And guess what? I enjoyed it.
Wow.
And yeah, and that was great because you offer us all the things we need to thrive and to feel better in order to I don't know, to push ourselves, to push the boundaries that hold us back, because we all have boundaries. And this
What
program,
has changed? What has changed in your personal life because of that? Like, what have you done
now,
differently?
yeah, now I'm able to talk, with native speakers. I have no friends, no American friends,
Amazing.
and I meet them almost every week, and we can speak together, and I have no fear
Wow.
at all. And I really enjoy these moments.
Amazing.
Yeah, thanks to the sound,
And
thanks
you
to
started
Hadar.
hosting Inside Beyond, which is our other program, and now you are, you know, so it's pretty incredible to
Yeah.
see.
Yeah.
And I remember because Anna was the, you know, she showed up for a lot of coaching sessions, and we had a lot of conversations throughout the program. And I really remember how you showed up and how you were asking the right questions, like really acknowledging when you hit a wall, because that happened a few times where you're like, I want to do this, but I'm afraid. And like, how do I do it? Whether it was in our mindset coaching or pronunciation coaching. And I think that this is such a healthy way to show up, where you recognize, okay, like I feel that something is holding me back. And a lot of people just stay there and they just assume, okay, it is what it is. This is how it's going to be for me. But for you, Anne, and for all of you guys, and Alex and Alain, you're going to share in a little bit your stories. But I think the one thing that makes you guys different from everyone else that don't experience the same transformation is really that you were able to make a commitment to yourself for kind of like subscribing to this idea of transformation and doing the work and asking the right questions and not giving up when it felt a little overwhelming or a little harder, because that's how it is in the journey. You can all attest that there was a point where you're like, you know, like I feel like it's a lot. So I saw that transformation. Mm-hmm.
My advice would be, don't be afraid, just dare to ask questions. There's no bad questions, just dare and ask the team, because all the team, Hadar and her team, are just perfect. When we need them, they are here to support us. And that's a big part of the program.
100%.
There is always someone to support you, the team, Hadar, and the community.
And we need that. We need that support. It's hard to do it on our own, you know?
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Anne. And I'm so happy to kind of like see you here and hear your story. And you guys, just so you know, like if you are, for all the boot campers watching this right now, New Sound is open. You might have gotten an email about it, and that's the program that these beautiful people are talking about. So the team is going to put the link in the chat. You also have it in your inbox if you want to find out more and learn more about it and see what you get. You can click on it. And of course, if you have questions for our students, then start writing them in the chat. And after we do this one round, we're going to go into questions from the audience, and I have some questions. Okay, so next we have Alex. So Alex is the brother of Lisandro, and We call them the Paula brothers because they are a force of nature, really, inside of our community. So, Alex, you had a pretty
Hello.
significant shift in your first round of New Sound.
Hello, everyone. Hello, Hadar. Okay, guys, I'm so emotional here because I'm turning to myself first. My name is Alex de Paula. I'm from Brazil. My story is like the Lisando because we living together. We working together many years. I have a degree U.S. Chef, but in the moment I don't work for this, and I have a small business with Lisando de Paula. I'm hair stylist, and I do hair extension, and I'm a wig maker. So, guys, we worked together almost 30 years, Lisandro and I. And I remember my first boot camp. I did nothing in this boot camp because I was afraid. I was in panic. And right now, I'm here speaking in the front of a lot of people. And now it's my family. And thank you, Hadar. It's amazing team. You are changing my life for everything in my mind, in my set, everything. You change a lot, and you part my heart right now. And I'm so happy because I remember my first boot camp. No, I'm first hot seat. I was in panic with Coach Yelena. Oh my God. I think Yelena remember because I was, it's like, oh my God, what do you say? And she's amazing. She did amazing work with me. She putting me down, calm down. And I was, she knows I'm afraid, I'm so, and she helped me a lot. And thank you, the team. You have a beautiful materials, and now I can speak much better. And I don't know you remember, and 2 years ago I mentioned for my brother-in-law. I didn't speak with him. Now I speak with him like 2 hours.
That's amazing. Listen, like I know, and I always mention that because I think that this is something that we don't comprehend because it's kind of like, okay, English and everything, but that completely changed like how you feel at home and the relationship that you have in your family. And I think this is so significant for you and for him, you know, and for the entire family, because we can have like a small talk, yes, no, how's the weather, great, but to have a 2-hour conversation that goes deep, that's a whole nother level of relationship. And really English has allowed you to go deeper into that relationship, and I think that's a huge win, right?
Yeah, yes, totally. Because right now I can't. I'm not shy anymore, but I'm so quiet person. And Lisandro, he's so activity like you. And I remember it's the little kids, and a lot of people say, "Oh, Lisandro, be quiet, be quiet." And here it is. He's Lisandro. He's so activity, and I'm quiet. I'm just a little. I prefer pay attention first and say something after. That's my personality. And Lisandro not. Lisandro love help people. You remember Lisandro have in sounds 70 partners. You remember that?
I will never forget that, and I will never forget the video that you guys made me at the end of New Sound, which was kind of like remarkable. I still watch it every now and then. So yeah, Alex, absolutely. And I think, and I love the connection that you two have and how you show up in the community, because you really complete each other, and you're a big part of New Sound. So thank you, Alex, for sharing your story. And it's so great to hear you here. And if you guys were to listen to his first video that he posted in New Sound when he first joined, you'd be like amazed. because it's it's day and night. All right, so Alain, my love, how are you doing? It's so good to see you. Please tell us, introduce yourself, my dear.
Thank you, Hadar. When I was listening to Orsi talking about her age, I really laughed a little bit because she could be my daughter, She could be my daughter. And you, Hadar, you could be my daughter. And, I know that as a non-native speaker, your example for all of us is exceptional because you suggested something that not being a native speaker, you can reach this level. And this is a real lesson for us. This past year was so many things happened in my life. I mean, so many things. You changed so many things in my life. Of course, the pronunciation, of course, all those things. My background is different. I'm older than you. I'm retired as a surgeon here in Paris. I live in Paris. So I have time. Battle, she just said before, she has 4 kids. I mean, you can't have the same time as I have. So I can spend a lot of time and I put in a lot of work, a lot of time. I can learn 3-4 hours every day. So my results are absolutely not yours. It's totally different. So please take that in consideration when you I mean, you could look at my progresses as someone who is an alien in such a short time, just 1 year, because I came across Hadar 1 year ago. So just 1 year, but I worked so much. I mean, such a hard work, and it's totally different than other Beyonders who cannot afford that because they are working hard, they have issues with their work, with all those things. So this to say that please don't compare yourself. People might ask, can I reach this level? Of course you can reach this level. Yeah. That will take you maybe 2-3 years more, but the results will be there. And if you apply, we have all the tools. When I started 1 year ago, I couldn't say a lot of sentences in a row. And someone took me by the hand and told me, just take a deep breath, follow me, stick with me. If you are stuck, just wait a little bit and do it your own pace, and then you can speed up. Are you familiar with those things?
I can guess.
Yes, you guess. So, and I remember the first thing was my R. As a French, we are, this is a course, this is hell. The R is terrible for us. And I remember when you said for the first time, the R, that's nothing. Just breathe and put stress of the edges of your tongue on the upper tooth, and the tip of the tongue doesn't do anything, and round your lips, and then the R comes like that. You
got it.
I saw it, immediately. I couldn't imagine, and then I rush into a diabolical tongue twister. Red leather, yellow leather, lavender leather. I said it 10 times in a row.
Amazing.
I couldn't imagine, this tongue twister for me was the Everest Mount.
Wow.
And I said it.
That's how you measure progress. I want to say something about what you said about comparison, because I think it's so important and I want to emphasize it. And I just released a podcast episode or a video about taking ownership over your English. And I talked about this idea of comparison. And I said, sometimes we we feel that comparison and we feel the envy, or like, I'm not good enough, like all the things that come up when you compare yourself to someone else. And I said, first of all, it's a natural thing that happens, like you just said. Like it's okay. We all have different journeys, and we all have different paths. So, and I'm sure that a lot of people watching and listening to your stories, they're saying, yes, but it was easy for them because, or they're not me, they don't have my brain, my first language, my this, my that, my circumstances. And it's true, but we all have our circumstances, and we all have our journeys. And we're never on the same path of transformation, because we each have our own journey and our own path. But the idea is that we are moving forward, and seeing someone else's journey and transformation could make you feel like you're not good enough or it's not possible for you. But it's really a mindset thing where you take it and you say to yourself, wait, what if I use that as inspiration? What if I use that as a reminder that these things are possible? What if I use that as a goal to use for me to know where I want to go, and kind of like more of a clarity, or an opportunity to gain clarity as to where I want to go. And I think this is so incredibly important. And you pinpointed a real pain that people have, especially in the world that we live in. Because I think it's really hard for people to hear you and how fluent you are and expressive and funny, and then to think that a year ago this was not possible for you. Can you talk a little bit more about that and why you think you have made that transformation?
I think I had something, you talk often about that. I had some passive vocabulary. I had some passive grammar, I had them somewhere in my brain, in my old brain, So I had them there, but I couldn't express them, because one thing is absolutely essential, and this is a fantastic tool. This is the pronunciation. This is the key. This is the key. And this is why, examples can go on and on. The cup sound, the cat, and father sound. For me, a year ago, those three sounds, they were exactly the same. I had no clue. They were in a kind of foggy bag. Everything is equal. Nothing was different. I couldn't hear it, so I can't say it. And once I understood the difference, the nuances between those three things, and you break down them so simply, so perfectly, so I understood them, and with minimal pairs, with sentences, then I could drill them. And I'm not afraid by the repetition because of my former job. I was surgeon, I was very repetitive things, meticulous things, tedious things don't bother me, I can do them as long as, and this is essential, the results are there. And with your method, this is something I would like to tell to everyone. With your method, the results are there very quickly. And then when the results are there, the mindset shift dramatically, everything shifts with the mindset coming with the results.
And I'm just going to point out, because I'm going to just before you continue with number 2 and 3, I think this idea of understanding the fast progress is not by learning more, but really minimizing the gap. I always talk about it, because passive English is always significantly bigger. And the work that we do, as Alain is describing now, is designed to bring that to the surface. So you'll start using the English that you actually know a lot more. Go ahead, Alain, sorry.
Yes, and something which is really important for me is you give us the ability to give yourself the feedback. This is one very important thing in this learning. And I can trust my voice, my sound. I hated my voice speaking English. When I heard myself the first time, when I recorded myself, I record myself a lot. When I heard it the first time, I was desperate. And then I learned how to see, how to detect my mistakes, and I have the tools to correct them, to fix them. And this is very, very important. I mean, the team is incredible. All your team is incredible. Yelena, Christina, Christine, Avi, Marcy for the grammar. I mean, everyone is so warm. So this morning we had a workshop with Tomer. It was incredible, you know, working on the breath, on the pause, and all those things. It's just more than just English, you know. So many things in this community, and the community, of course, you know. When I came there, Rosario, Katia, they were so warm with me, so welcoming,
Our
and
ambassadors
they
of New
you
Sound
know, and they
as
told
well.
me so much kind words, and I discovered a bunch of extraordinary people, you know.
I think community is like something that is very underrated. Like, I think that a lot of times when people think about their English journey, they don't recognize that having a community is really critical for them to show up and for them to do the work. And this is, you know, what you're saying here, seeing that other people make an effort to show up and practice it's something that kind of like triggers something in you that gets you to want to do that as well.
Right.
I want to
That's
give some time for Alain. Thank you so much for sharing your experience. And I want to, first of all, I want to open it up for questions. So if you guys in the watching the video right now, watching the live, if you have questions specifically for one of the students, let us know. But I want to ask you in the meantime, and maybe we could do kind of like a quick round and ask you, what do you think was I want to talk about that concept of transformation, and what is like the one thing that you think was missing before you joined New Sound, and this is what you got, and what allowed you to get to where you are today. So Orsi, if you want to share that.
That's a very good question. And I have a very short answer. Clarity. You know, you hear so much about English. One says this is the only way to do, that's the right pronunciation, there is no other way to do it, and you are never good enough, you can't do that. But actually you don't know why. And it was true even in my situation, because I have gone through all the school system, all the English learning pillars, so everything. But nobody in the planet Earth explained me where to put my tongue, how to open my mouth, how to do it physically.
Yeah.
You know, just to hear it said by myself, the sound that I really had to produce.
Yeah.
And it was such a lack of information. And this is the only platform I could get this answer. And it changed my life forever.
Wow. I love that. I love that. And I'm going to tell you something. First of all, I agree. Like, I think it's impossible to learn a language without the fundamentals of speaking the language, which is the sounds. Like yesterday I mentioned it in my masterclass. Like, when you think of a baby learning a language, it starts with pronunciation. Before everything, it actually starts with prosody, which is the way the baby cries and gets attention. And then it moves into pronunciation, the right? Because that is the infrastructure of the language. And then when you go to learn in a conventional way, any language, they show you the letters, they show you the words, they expect of you to say it, but you don't have the foundation in your mouth. And that's where things get messed up, because first of all, it's hard for you to read, especially in English, where pronunciation and spelling do not correspond. Then there are sounds that you don't even know how to make. So you hear one thing and then it doesn't come out right. And then you become self-conscious about it or unclear, you know? So there are all these things. But also, and I would say something that even when we think about our first language and how we speak, we're born with our voice, but we've never learned how to use our voice. We've never learned what happens when we abuse our voice or when we manipulate it because we're afraid or because we don't want to, or we don't like our voice. So we're softer or we pull it away. And our voice is our signature. That's the first thing that people hear. So even beyond speaking a second language, learning how to use your voice and to love it, I think that's the fundamentals of speaking in any language, not just in English. So I love it that you said clarity. I did not expect that necessarily, but I think, yes, that is so important for making progress in anything. So thank you. And yeah, I see just some of the comments. I'm going to come back to it. Lisandro, what was it for you?
The same, it's a pronunciation, because I speak 4 languages, and some language that I speak sometimes interfere in English. And I'm here in Florida. I had to learn Spanish before English, and then I was between English and Spanish at the same time. And I had a lot of Spanish friends. They had a different accent when they was speaking in English, and I was like, wow. Now I'm in limbo, because it's different ways. And like one day I was telling my husband, I said, did you give my the dog that I said mad sing? He was like, are you mad with me? I say, no, mad sing. And I never forget about that, the flap deal and mad. And then I was like, you see, that things interfere in our communication, because the beginning people was like, what did you say? What? And then was bother me a lot when Alain said about the minimal pairs. It's a very amazing trick, because you're doing the little things very close, and then your brain recognize this thing, and then the brain recognize with the mouth. And if you're doing the drill, you cannot hear, and if you cannot hear, you cannot make it. So it's a lot of little things
you
that
make a teacher proud, Lisandro. I cannot handle this.
Talking about this,
well said.
You inspired us. This community inspired us. I was, when I was kid, I was graduating for my high school. My mom told me, if you graduated there, you can go to a class, dancing class, and other things. And I was dancing, I was doing things because she told me to do this. I did the elementary school, but you guys inspire me. And nowadays, I start to do, last year, I am a certified an English teacher. I did 120.
Oh my goodness!
Because of you, because of all of you, Claudiana, Alex, even Busra came later on. They say, I want to be a teacher too, but I still not there. I want more 430 hours. That way I can keep up my journey. But now New Sound is the place that I have to stay to make this thing connected. And
I love it, and I love like how you know, like you keep discovering what like more and more and more, and what's more is possible. And I love how like you live the life to the fullest, Lisandro. You know, like when something interests you, you go full on, and I admire it in you so much.
Thank you. Yeah, that's all. And then let me tell another thing, guys. Recording is very important. If you do, you can hear yourself. You can be your own coach and put notes. I have a lot of notes. Sometimes I don't know how to say this and this. It's a lot that I put around the house. That way I can remind myself, you are the responsible for your conduct. Tomorrow it's for you. Yesterday was mystery. Now's the moment, present moment. Tomorrow it's the mystery. We don't know yet. So let's find out now, and let's find out 90 days in New Sound. And then you're gonna do it for sure.
We want you guys there. We wanna support you.
Yes, definitely.
And what was it for you? The thing that
we didn't talk before, but of course pronunciation was my first goal, because I have been a student in English. I have a degree in business English, but I was just able to write and to read, but speaking was a big problem, as I already said. And I have never heard about primary stress, connected speech, and everything, prosody, and everything before New Sound. And guess what? I was at the university studying English, business English, but they never told me about these things, and they are the foundation, as you say, of English.
Yeah.
And it was like a revelation, you know. Oh my gosh, how is it possible? And when you discover how to stress the words, how to use the primary stress, or to use the connected speech, sorry, in the, then everything is possible.
Yeah.
Everything is possible. And
And
that's
also we
what
like shortcuts, right? Like it's nice that we can find like the in the, that reminded me. Like it's a shortcut that like that makes a complicated thing simpler simply through repetition. Yeah.
And of course, I like what we do every morning. I do it in the morning in Beyond the Sprints, because it's all about connected speech. It's all about primary stress, and in the I love this one because maybe because it's quite easy for me, but it's one example. But it's all about that. No sound is just about all these things, but are
Amazing.
just essential.
I love it. Thank you so much. In the. By the way, this was one of the first things I have to tell you. When I studied, because I studied pronunciation myself, and that was, I think, in 2003 when I took classes with a dialect coach. Her name was Lee Dillon, and she's coaching all the A-list actors on Hollywood. But she was my teacher back then, and between the first and second year, I took private classes with her, and she was the one who said, Hadar, your TH. Hadar, like, what's going on? Because I used to always say in the and not in the. So she gave me a bunch of phrases. And then when I started teaching with her, I realized that I needed to work on my TH. And I tried to figure out a whole bunch of ways to do it. And then I started teaching one-on-one privately, and before each class I would kind of like make up the class. I would write the exercises, and I had one of my first students, he always struggled, like he couldn't sustain his th, and he couldn't remember to use it. And I was like, how can I come up with a drill that's going to, and I tried to remember what I did, and then I remembered that I did these shortcuts when I was practicing myself. So I created the daily th practice that we now have in New Sound, the in the, on the, at the, to create the shortcuts. And that has been really significant for a lot of my students, because that's where it solves the problem that always comes up with the th. So it's nice that this is what you remember, because it's one of my favorite exercises. Good. Thank you. And Alex, what was it for you? And you guys, if you have questions, and team, if you see questions on the chat, put it in the doc that I shared with you before so I can see it. Alex, what was it for you?
Well, in the same for the pronunciation, because sometimes, in Portuguese, I have a problem in English. It's like TH for me, it's a lot of challenge. Now I don't have any, but when I study TH, R, and L, in my case, it's so hard, but right now it's much better. And when I was studying with Lisando, Claudiana, and Boshua, they mentioned for me, Alex, you need UTH like a voiced, no voiceless, because sometimes it's confusing for me. That's why pronunciation it's so hard.
Yeah. And it does give you confidence, right? Because when you were more confident in how to pronounce things, you dared more, you started speaking more.
Exactly. And now, I think it's my TH, it's nice much TH. Better.
That was really good. I noticed. You see, like he's saying it and he's using it. So the proof is there, my friends. The proof is there. Love it, Alex. Love it, and I love your progress and your journey. Alain, I think you kind of shared it, but if you want to kind of like put it in one sentence, like what would that be that made the most impact for you in New Sound?
Yes, I think the accuracy of the pronunciation and the stress. And when you have both things, then you have the mindset to dare incredible things. You know, for example, March 2nd, I will host a session about art. You imagine me, ex-surgeon, hosting a session about art, talking about Mona Lisa, her dress, the silk, the incredible number of shades of blue, and the painting, the composition, all those very subtle things. When you have the power of words, you know, when you have the power of the words, you can do anything. The sky is the limit. So thank you. Thank you.
Let me just say that again. Hold on. When you have the power of words, you can do anything. I think we can all like just sit with that sentence for a second because it's so good. It's so powerful. And it's so true because we often feel so limited. I always say like a pale version of ourselves. And I know that like now I used to feel that in English when I first moved to the US. I now feel that in Spanish when I live in Barcelona, you know, and I feel like, I could do so much more. I could say so much more. I could be a lot more funny and loving and expressive and engaged and interested. You know, I have people that I interact with regularly, like the cleaner that I love. I absolutely adore her, and the porter. Well, he speaks English, but like I would want to have better conversations with them. Like I would, you know, these are people who are involved in my life, and I feel it's ridiculous that I can't do it as much as I want, and I'm working on it. I just moved, so it's okay, but not just, but still, like I feel like people struggle with when you have that feeling for a while, like you don't have the words to get what you want, and you don't have that, and it feels very limiting, not just in communicating, but also in what's possible for you in life. And I think this is what it's about. You know, the possibilities, like Orsi doing, you know, teaching culinary English. Are you going to do culinary conversation groups in New Sound?
Absolutely. Every single week.
Amazing. So if you're like, that's like a bonus, right? Yeah, we have the conversation groups, but we have culinary English inside of New Sound.
Yes, and we can share recipes. And if I can tell you something about these conversation groups, because I have tested culinary English in the last round of New Sound, and it was so nice to see people when we discovered that food can connect us as English can. So basically, the passion we feel for eating is the same we feel for language. And it was so nice to realize this, so to live this passion in the session when we spoke about food. And I think there was an Italian member that explained ravioli, and then it turned out that there is something similar in Russia with a totally different name. So it, you know, two poles in the world got connected through food in an international session in English. So it was such a connection. And I think these situations help us understand that English is just a tool to speak about anything, because in that moment, when we understood the connection with food, we forgot that we were speaking English. You know, it wasn't about practicing sounds. It was really what language means. So it was really that moment when two people speak and they forget that they struggle with the language because they are so much involved in the conversation.
That is so beautiful. And that is the magic that we strive for and that we live for, actually. I'm going to just remind everyone that New Sound is now open. We just opened doors. So go to hadarshamish.com/join. There is one question, Orsi, maybe you can take that question. Ara says, I'm feeling a little afraid because I'm working a lot and I don't think I do have time for all the live lessons.
Well, actually, I think the most important thing is to keep the most important thing, the most important thing. So we are here to practice English anyhow, at any time when we wake up at night and we feel like solving a problem in our mind or dream. You just open the program, you go through a 10-minute lesson and the problem just disappears. So the live sessions that Hadar hosts are always registered, so you have the chance to watch them back even 100 times if you want. And basically, we ambassadors host conversation groups in different times, in different time zones. So I think that people busy in weekdays can join a conversation group in weekends and vice versa. So I think the program is so flexible that there's no way that you can't find a way how to follow it for yourself.
Great. Thank you. And it's so true. And the core thing, I love what you said, the most important, keep the most important thing, the most important thing. The most important thing is the core program. That's the video modules, the 12 weeks where every week you get video lessons. It's all recorded. You have access anytime, 24/7. You have Hadar AI to ask questions and practice with. And the conversation groups are exceptional. And the live sessions with coaches are exceptional, but you don't have to join live. First of all, you have recordings of everything, and you definitely don't need to join all of them. That's not the purpose. Like Orsi said, we really serve people from around the world at different time zones. So this is why we need to have a lot of sessions available, because we know people have different schedules, but it's definitely not a must to join. And also, you know, like before joining something, you're like hesitant because you don't know how it's going to be like. But sometimes when you actually enjoy doing something, or when you find passion about something, you find a way to make time for it because it's important to you. So right now you're operating from your current reality of like, I don't have time for something that is going to feel like a burden. But if it becomes something that you're super passionate about, you see the impact. You know, I'm not saying that you'll invent time and your schedule. All our students are busy students. So Raida, for example, she joined the program in 2022. She was working 3 jobs. She was a single mom. She joined New Sound. She did every single session. She came to the meetup. Like, I remember her story vividly because we have busy students. And the program is designed to adapt to the life of a busy person. I designed it, and I'm a busy person, so I wanted something that I could take. So this is why, even if you're afraid that you don't have time, everything is planned out. You don't have to do the live sessions. Everything is recorded. And even if you do 20%, you get the benefits of it. I just want to point out, because Edison was asking, bonuses won't be available until after Sunday. All the bonuses are available until you sign up. We close registration on Friday, next Friday, the 21st. Alejandra is asking, is it necessary to have Facebook account to join New Sound? Hopefully not. Anne, do you want to answer it?
Yes, of course. Now you don't need Facebook anymore. You just need the app, and in the app you have everything you need. So that's
including the community.
Very simple. Just your phone.
Yes,
Wherever
exactly.
you are, you always have all the things you need to improve, and practice makes everything.
Yes. And the community practice. So everything, you can post videos, you can interact, you can connect with other members. Everything is on the app. The reason we moved, we used to have Facebook groups. And while I love Facebook groups features, not everyone's on Facebook. So we used to miss out on a lot of students who couldn't interact with the community because they didn't have Facebook. And it's also distracting because when you're on Facebook, you're not just learning, you're doing other things. So now you have everything in one place, super organized, and it's a better user experience. Norma, how many times a year do you do the program? Well, last year we did it once. So we had it in March 2024, and now we're opening it again. And because there's some things that are uncertain, we're either going to open it again in October, and if not, then just next year in next February. Do you have a video on how to use Hadar AI, Lily? Lily, you joined, right? I think you joined. I'm going to post a video later today because we're unlocking Hadar AI today for Valentine's Day. So I'm going to make a video on how to join it, but it's pretty self-explanatory. You just hop on a call and start speaking to me, and you'll see some guiding questions there. So you can kind of like click on one of them. I want to practice shadowing, and then Hadar AI is going to guide you on how to do that. But it's really I know it's weird, but you don't need guidance. You just ask for what you want, right? Like you want to practice vocabulary. Let me see if I can show you. Okay, no, never mind. I'll show it later. I'll make a video inside of New Sound. But it's really crazy. And yesterday my daughter started speaking to Hadar and she's like, but you're my mom. And Hadar AI is like, I'm sorry, I don't understand. I'm not your mother. It seems like you think I'm your mother, but I'm not. And Amalia is like, yeah, but you are. So creepy. Glenda, is the program for people with some progress in English? Can someone with a little knowledge do and achieve the same results? Who wants to answer this? Like, I think I can answer it because I've experienced like a lot of students, and I have students who are English teachers. I have students who are actually English teachers who are also native speakers because they want to learn about pronunciation and about prosody. I have students who grew up in the US for most of their lives, but there's still something about their confidence because maybe their family was not speaking English. People who have lived in the US for 20 years, 30 years, people who have done a lot of pronunciation programs before. I do have students who come in and still experience transformation because the way I teach you pronunciation is probably different from everything that you've done before, because the way I teach it, I bring, first of all, my linguistic experience, my own experience as a learner, everything that I've learned in acting school and vocal classes. Like, I integrate everything together because I think it's essential. And of course, the mindset work, the confidence work, and I teach you strategies that are more holistic and not just about, like just learn the sounds. So the answer is 100%. And this is a good opportunity to say that you have a money back guarantee. We have a money back guarantee policy. And I believe that if you join, you will see how this program is different from other programs right at the beginning. And if it's not for you, you can ask for your full investment back, whether you choose the payment plan or the full pay, no questions asked. So you definitely have an opportunity to just see for yourself if it's for you. Okay. Ara says, I'm a Spanish teacher and would love to become an English teacher too. We have so many students who live that story exactly. They came in speaking, but not having the confidence to teach English yet, but the passion. And we've seen these transformations as well. So if you want, this can definitely be something that supports you on that journey. It's not a traditional English teaching training, but it gives you the tools to learn more about the language, to have a deeper understanding of how to use it and how to explain it. And also, I want you to experience something in a way that you will understand, okay, this works, this doesn't work. So right now, as a Spanish learner, I know what I need, right? Like I know because I have the methodology and the strategies and all of that. So for me, I just need to implement it. I'm interested in Hadar AI. No, Hadar AI is only comes with New Sound. It's just for New Sound because it's also trained on the New Sound content. So obviously, it is very knowledgeable in the sense, and you get it as a part because it's designed to help you succeed in New Sound. Even though maybe one day I'll create like a shadowing Hadar AI because it's going to be cool. Okay, one sentence for people who are on the fence and they don't know if New Sound is for them, if they should do it, maybe they should wait for next year. What would you tell them? Alain, you're going to start and we're going to go backwards.
There's one thing, only one thing I regret. If only I knew you a few years ago. This is the only regret I have. That would have changed maybe a lot of things in my life, even maybe having a career in the United States, which was a great dream for me, but I couldn't do that. And this is the only deep, deep regret I have. If only I knew you just 10 years ago, that would have changed even more far more my life, but it's already changing my life, and that's it. I can't complain. That's okay. Thank you, Hadar. You gave me so much. You changed so much my life, and I'm so grateful for what you brought for us.
Thank you so much. I love that. Thank you. Alex, what about you?
Guys, don't be afraid your English because it's the moment. Because when you listen to say, yesterday it passed, in the future you don't know. Now we need to pay attention if you want and keep doing it.
I love it. And what about you?
So I would say that a synonymous for new sound is just game changer. This program has been a game changer for me. And if you join new sound or if you have already joined it, just record yourself. And your introduction video is very important because when new sound ends, just go back, scroll up and have a look to your first video. And it's time for comparison if you allow me, because comparison is not something we like, but
only when you're seeing progress, you do want to compare your.
You can use it and you can compare yourself before and after.
Love that. And just so you know, we added an assessment. So now you guys didn't have it because it's new, but because we made some really great changes. So at the beginning, we have an assessment text that you'll be reading, and then we'll revisit it throughout the program. And then at the end, we will record it. You will record it. And then it's a really, really nice indication of the before and after. And I can't wait to see the results.
Great.
Love it. And thank you. Lisandro, what about you?
Okay, I have to thank everybody because when you gave us the whole thing and that we have to put hands on, without this, we cannot doing anything. But I have to thank a lot of people over here because I have a lot of friends and I rely on them because when they show off, I listen to them. I'm making comments. I put my comments as well over there because when they show it off, I can show myself as well. So we have reflection from each other. And if you do, we all of us can do too. So keeping posting, keeping showing yourself. And I have to tell the music lovers, Daniela, Elisa, Soraya, Valentina, Halil, Mary, Luana, Anna, Hannah, Alain, Luciana, Glenda, Kaori, a lot of people. I have so many people I cannot keep saying here because it's so much. And when you getting friend, it's not about English, guys. I tell all the time, it's many things you're gonna grow, and that you're gonna grow better English person and anything else. So we can rely on each other. So that's the beauty what we have here. It's a real. I have my family, my second family here, New Sound and beyond, and I'm so thrived to be in this place. Don't hesitate, guys. This is the moment. If you cannot doing this now, we have other times. And I agree with Alain. If I had you before, would it be amazing? But the time is now. My time is with you, and you guys' time is now. So take consideration in this moment and jump in, and don't hesitate. Just go. And whatever is coming, you're gonna see result later. Everything has a result, good or bad. If you're doing good, you're gonna have so much good things on you. So
I love that. You're so inspiring, Lisandro. And so I want to say two things before we get to you, Orsi. Tracy says in the comments, I want to read it because it kind of like hit me hard, like her words, I will not die without learning and speaking English properly. And I think that, you know, it's kind of like on one hand, it just shows the journey that you've been through. And I know that you've put in the work, and I know like that this is something that you have to crack, you have to solve. And it's been bothering you, but also in these words, I see the determination and the commitment to make that your reality. And I think it's absolutely amazing. And I think it's possible. And I think if there is something that and that relates to what both of you guys said, when there is something that you know you're going to do anyway, because you know that you're not going to die without having it done, you might as well do it now. Like you just figure out and do it now. I remember I once talked about it in one of my emails. I remember when I was in a guest house with my girlfriends when I was 30, and we were in the pool, and the water was so cold. And my friend was standing there outside, and we were having fun, even though it was cold, and we were kind of like swimming and laughing. And then my friend, I don't know, I can't do it. And I said, you know, you're going to do it at some point, right? Like, you're not going to stay all weekend outside of the pool. You're going to do it. You might as well do it now. And as I said it, she just jumped as I was saying it, because my words kind of like hit her. And she was like, what? I'm going to have to deal with feeling the cold water at some point. I might as well do it now and benefit from the outcome. And I always talk about English. If this is something that you want to make happen in your life, just make it happen, because the outcome and the result, you don't even know it's possible for you. And it's also the ripple effect. When you make a positive change in one part of your life, you start seeing it in other areas of your life, and you start exploring. Luciana here in the chat, I'm going to call you out. She recently shared an incredible win about a workshop that she opened outside of our program. Like, so she's a host inside Beyond. And she said, like, that's my passion, to teach other people. And in one of the sessions, you know, we said, like, if this is your passion, you should do it. And you use English to do that. But she was afraid, but she was so determined, and she decided to go ahead and do it. And she hosted her own workshop for UX designers, and it sold out within 24 hours, and it was a success. And, you know, like, that's possible because she took many steps before that for making other things possible, like her English. So it's just, you know, just do it. Nike had the best slogan ever. Just do it. And if you want to do it with us, we would love, love, love to have you. But even if it's not us, use the boot camp, use the trainings, use this momentum to make a significant change. Orsi.
Oh, wow. What a speech. So what else can I add to all these things? Actually, I think the best conclusion for this beautiful meeting could be, guys, just start it and keep doing and never stop, because you will see that if you have some doubts now, you feel a little bit embarrassed maybe for your English, you have negative experiences. After a while, all these things will just disappear. So you won't feel these things. And I remember when it happens to me for the first time, that I woke up in the morning and I realized that actually there was no problem with my English. So I couldn't understand how was it possible that I had struggled so much before. And a new word opened, and I've been doing all my steps along this way with English in my pocket, and I don't have limits. So everything is possible. Anything I want, I can do.
That's it. And that's the mindset. That's it. Everything I want, I can do. That's it. And with that strong sentence, I want to say thank you, thank you, thank you, my beautiful students, beautiful humans, for taking the time to share your stories with our boot campers and take this moment to use your experience to inspire others. I think it has been people, I don't know if you've seen the comments, but people loved your stories, because it just brings it down to, okay, like they are just like me, and this is possible for me as well. So thank you, and I love you, and I cannot wait to have fun inside of New Sound with all of you and with all the boot campers that will decide to join us. So just as a reminder, New Sound is open right now, hadarshemesh.com/join. And if you still need some more time, we close doors on Friday next week. So thank you so much. Thank you, my dear New Sounders, Beyonders, friends. And I'll see you inside of New Sound. And thank you for your time and your stories. Bye, everyone.
Bye-bye.
And bye, boot campers. Thank you.
Bye, guys. We
Bye.
are New Sounders.
Bye, everyone.
Yes.
Hope to see you soon in the sound.
Yes.
See you
Bye,
in.
everyone. All right. Thank you so much for joining the Student Success Panel. If you want to join New Sound, you can go ahead and click on the link. If registration is open, I would love to welcome you as a student. And if not, make sure you get on the wait list. Have a beautiful, beautiful day. Remember, it is possible for you too. And I'll see you in the next video. Bye.